Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Milligan, and I am going to show you what a box plot is, how to build it, how to create it, how to analyze it. You're going to be using this and applying it with your temperatures of high and low of the cities that you're working with, but we're just going to show it in terms of sports and football scores.
We had a good game today. A great game. 37 points. That's the way I like to see our offense run.
37? Got it. I see only 2 weeks ago you didn't even score a touchdown. Why so much better today?
I'd say good coaching.
A box plot shows the distribution of a data set by making 5 boundary points where data occur along a number line. Unlike a dot plot or histogram, a box plot does not show frequency. The data set shown here represents the football game scores. Make sure to order the data first to find the values you need to make the box plot.
Okay, boys and girls, once you have the scores, you're actually going to arrange it from least to greatest so your mind can kind of see the maximum and the minimum. A box plot has 5 data values that you're going to find. So unlike frequency, when you're saying how many fit in this category or interval, you're really just looking at specific numbers and then plotting them on a horizontal line. Right now, let's make the scale. Remember, the scale has to be balanced, so you can count by 2s or 5s or 10s, but they need to relate with the data given. Let's look at the scale for these.
The minimum value in this data set is 6. The maximum value in this data set is 39. So you can make the scale a number line from 0 to 40. You are graphing the number of points scored per game. So the unit for the scale is points scored.
So the biggest mistake that people make is they just list the numbers. They list the scores as the scale, but the scores are meant to be placed on the scale. So it won't fall exactly on the 5 because no team scored 5 points in football. But you'll use the 5 as a placeholder when you put the game that scored 6 points. So you'll just put a dot right on the right of that 5. So use this scale as you would any other scale that we've done with science. We've done temperature, we've done amount of liquids. So just take your time and look at the examples in the textbook if you need to reference any other definitions or ideas. Now let's find the end points, the maximum and the minimum values.
The minimum score is 6 points, so make a dot above 6. And the maximum score is 39 points, so make another dot above 39.
The reason why it's called a box plot is you're really just finding that average. You put
The middle
a box.
score is 29 points, so make a dot on the scale above 29. The middle of the lower scores is 18 points, so make a dot on the scale above 18. The middle of the higher scores is 35 points, so make a dot on the scale above 35. Now draw the box that shows the middle 50% of the data. And add a line in the box to mark where the middle data value is.
Okay, this is why it's called a box plot. You can see that this median really just means middle. So we cross off from left to right until we get to that center. So it's a measure of center. So 29 is that middle. You can kind of see how it relates to that maximum number. So you can kind of look at the scores. You can say, okay, the upper half of all the games that we played, we've scored between 30 and 40 points. And then the lower half of our scoring games have been from 6 to about 29 points in a game. Let's make the whiskers.
Draw a line connecting the dot for the minimum score to the dot for the middle of the lower scores. This whisker contains the data value 17 points. Draw another line connecting the dot for the middle of the higher scores to the dot for the maximum score. This whisker contains the data value 37 points. Let's see how the data is distributed in a box plot. The dots on the box plot are at the minimum, maximum, middle value, and middle values of both halves of the scores. The box is around the middle 50% of the scores.